Hello there, I'm Blackbright, as you know, and I am shining a light on Lutonians. And not just ordinary Lutonians, these Lutonians are very special. And today I have in my studio, I have the wonderful Marcia Louise B, who is an actress, I'll have you know. So, yes, I think most people have an image of Luton. I'm trying to change that image just by their experiences of Luton and the type of calibre of people we have in Luton. So, Marcia.
Hello, Myrna.
Hello, Marcia. Now, what brought you to Luton?
Well, I've lived in Luton for over, no, I'm not going to say my age, let it out, but a long time.
Okay.
But what a lot of people might not know, I'm a true Yorkshire lass. I'm born and bred from Huddersfield, Yorkshire.
Okay.
And so moved down with the family. The whole family, my mum moved all the way down from Huddersfield. So, yeah, we settled in Luton.
And why did they come from Huddersfield to Luton?
Because of the work, it was more a lot of work, and it was more work than it was in Huddersfield, and it was coming up. Luton, it was
booming, wasn't it?
Way back.
And they said quite a few people have said that came from Vauxhall and Electrolux and all of those kind of companies. So, what is it that you like about Luton?
I like Luton because it's multicultural. The people are vibrant. I feel at home here. My neighbours, one time I locked myself out of my house, and it was like the neighbours from left, right, across the road were all coming to help me. I just thought, oh wow, that was so nice. And another thing I like, we have a carnival. I love the carnival every year.
Yeah.
And what I find so inspiring, every time when I come off the train for London, there's a sign and it says, if you can dream it, you can be it.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is.
I love
it's
that.
Really inspiring. So, what do you think would make a Luton a better place to live?
I don't know. I would say maybe the town centre, the shopping centre, because there's a lot of shops in there that are empty, so maybe more shops would bring more people in.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess, I guess with lockdown, it used to be quite vibrant, but then, we don't have no decent nightclubs. I think we used to have, was it Charlie? What was that one where...
Charlie Brown.
What's the one where all the stylistics and everybody came?
Legends. No, it wasn't Legends.
No, the one in town. And I remember going and there was the stylistics used to go there. All of those big soul acts.
Oh, no. Not the Pink
next
Elephant.
Next to Liquid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the
can't
name.
remember. I know it began with a C, but yeah. But yes, things like that used to bring people to the town, but I guess they've all kind of died a death. Now, I met you at work and I discovered that you are an actress.
Yes.
And I think I met you maybe about 10 years ago. It must be about over 10 years ago. And I discovered that you was an actress and you'd been on EastEnders. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I played the nurse in EastEnders, and it was when Kat Slater's dad was in hospital.
Oh.
And I had to attend to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how did you prepare for that role?
So each time we get a role, we have to do research. So it was a nurse. At that time, my mum was in hospital. So a lot of the times I was in the hospital daily, every day in, day out, meeting the nurses. So I drew from my character from that.
Oh, okay. So you've got that live interaction.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. And I guess acting, what is that about? Putting yourself into somebody else's character. How difficult is that?
It can be very difficult. When I get a role, I do my research into it. It could be, for a nurse, it could be for a doctor, whatever role it is, and just do the research. And then I'm not me, I become the character who they want me to play.
And then when you say you do the research, what research would you need to do to, say, perform a character?
Like the one for the nurse, I would, go to the hospital, watch the nurses and the doctors. This was back in the time, way before COVID. If it was a police officer, if I knew a friend who was a police officer, they might, ask you to watch them, watch TV shows, films.
Okay.
So a lot goes into just building the character.
Okay, that's very interesting. And I know that you like to attend film awards and not auditions, but festivals.
Yeah.
How do they make you feel?
Oh, I get dressed up in my ball gown and hair all done up and walk the red carpet. Who wouldn't want to walk the red carpet with celebrities?
I remember where did we go? We went to one of those a big show down the West End.
Yeah,
do you remember?
It was a film premiere.
It was a film premiere. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we couldn't get down to the near to the stars, but there was quite a few stars there, wasn't there?
There was.
Okay, so when you're going for auditions, how do you prepare for that?
So what will happen, my agent will send me a script in, and I would read through the whole script, or they might just send me the scene that they want me to audition for. So I'll read that through and just look through the notes, how they want me to prepare. Right now, it's a lot of self-taping. So we're not actually, because of COVID, we're not actually going into audition rooms and meeting casting directors. So it's all self-tape.
Do you think that works to your advantage or disadvantage?
I prefer self-tape.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
okay.
Because when I'm at home, I can do it and then keep going over until I get it perfect to how I want it to be. But when you're in the casting room, you have one shot or two shot and then that's it.
Okay, so you can actually produce it to a quality that you're happy with.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you been on any auditions recently?
I've been for quite a few auditions this year alone. And we filmed, I wrapped up filming in October for an independent film.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really good. I play a boss, a strong boss, mean boss. Do I look like a mean boss?
I bet you can when you want.
A mean boss.
Okay, and when you're thinking about the auditions and you're not always successful, how do you deal with when you don't get the part?
I'm a believer, and because of my faith, I believe, if that door, God has another door for me,
Okay.
So what God opens, no man can shut. What I believe, what role is for me, is for me. If I don't get a part, I don't sit there and cry over it. There's something better out there for me.
So supposing you was to go for an audition and supposing you go for 20, 30, 40, 50 auditions and you don't get any of them, I'm trying to make it an open question. How do you feel when you don't get those parts?
Of course, I'm human. I'm going to feel, disappointed, dismayed. But then I can, because of my faith, which will help me get through it. I don't sit and dwell in the disappointment or, upset. Yeah, it's upsetting, especially if you're going for a role. I went for a role last year. It was for The Offenders. It was for Stephen Merchant's drama, which is on BBC at the moment.
Okay.
And it was for a heroin addict, the mother of the lead role. And I really wanted that, but I didn't get the role. Yes, the disappointment. But yeah, next.
Okay, so at what point when you say next do you say this is just not for me? I say
No,
that.
it was for me. I want to roll.
I say that because I was interviewing someone and I was asking him about obstacles. And I said, how do you overcome your obstacles? And he said, which I'd never thought about before, he said, sometimes you have obstacles. And he said, it's about navigating the obstacles. You can either go over them, under them, around them, beneath them, or it just means you've got to take a different journey altogether. So how do you know that this is your destiny?
What, the acting?
The acting.
I believe this is my my destiny. I'm brought on this earth to act, to touch people with my acting, to, that's what I feel. Because that's what God has shown me.
Okay. And so that's what drives you.
Yes.
Okay. And so yes, I've asked you about the film festivals. Like actresses, when I don't know, when we see actresses, or maybe not even actresses, but entertainers, as people on the other side of the screen, we kind of build up a picture about what these people are like, and we say to ourselves, oh, they're confident, or they're cocky, or they're arrogant, or that one is shy, or that one is funny. What is a stereotype of an actress, and how can you explain, how can you negate that stereotype?
Well, I know a lot of people think actors, they're confident, you should be able to just walk in a room on your own and, but, a lot of them aren't. When we're playing the character, that's when, we become confident. But, somebody, you can get actors and actresses who are shy and quiet. You're always telling me, oh, you should be confident,
But I guess it's true, and I guess that is those people, even like Robin Williams, who, because he was always making people laugh, people had the perception that he was a happy person and that he was always joking. But it must be hard to have to fulfill those expectations of people, and I'd imagine that's why a lot of actresses and actors, they either go on drugs or they get depressed or they have problems. So and even young people, I'd imagine it's quite a strain on them, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
So who inspires you in the acting or in the acting world?
That's easy. Angela Bassett.
Okay. And why Angela Bassett?
She's strong, she's powerful. Do
you know she's tiny? She's about 4'7".
No.
She is. I met her in New York.
Oh, wow. She doesn't seem that on the TV.
Well, she's probably not 4'7", but she has to be 5'1", 5'2".
Oh, wow.
She's tiny, but you wouldn't think that.
No, you wouldn't. Her. Yeah, you wouldn't. Same with Tom Cruise. Is tiny as well. Yeah.
But that's the way they put them. How do they position people so that they look a certain height, or what do they do?
I think when you go for a role, sometimes they ask you your height. You have to put your height on there, so they know if you're 5'6", then they'll look for petite actors and actresses. So. Yeah.
But when you think about roles like Tom Cruise, and I don't know if what's that guy that played begins B, that good-looking boy,
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, I've met Brad Pitt.
Is he short?
No, he's not.
He's not short.
No, he must be about 5'9".
Oh, okay. So he's not exactly tall, but he's not short.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but when you see them on the screen, they actually look tall, and they look, is it because how do they create that image that make them look taller than what they are?
It's just the TV. That's just how, it looks on the TV. They don't put,
Because it's quite a shock when you see them.
Yeah, in real life. Yeah. Even Sylvester Stallone.
I heard he's short, isn't he?
He's very small.
Yeah, and I'm sure if we knew he was that short, we wouldn't be so fearful of him when he does his Al Capone. Okay, so you attend. Which was the last film festival or one of these events that you attend award ceremonies? Which was the last one you
So
attended?
I attended the Black Urban Film Festival.
And what was that like?
Oh, that was amazing. We at the festivals we watch all these different films from new directors, new producers. It's like a whole week of watching new films.
Well, you go there every day?
You can get a pass. I don't go every day. I go to like support like certain directors and producers.
Okay.
And we just watch their films, and they have Q&As with the producers and
do you critique the films or just watch
We don't
them?
critique, we
Okay.
just watch. We have people coming over. The one that I went to, the Black Urban Film Festival, people came over from America, all around the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to
And where did
submit
that
their
take
films
place?
in London.
And how did you get a ticket for that? I mean, or a pass? No, I don't want one. But, you know, we have young aspiring actresses or actors who might be watching this, so they might want to know, how do they come across this?
So, Black Urban Film Festival, BUF, as it's known, you can go onto their website. They've just finished their film festival. They did it all mainly online this year. And you can just get the ticket and attend.
But the recent photograph I saw of you at BUF, were you there in the flesh?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was online or something.
No, I was there.
And who were the famous people that you met?
We had Tracy Twinkie Bird, and she's a top casting director from America, and she cast in all Tyler Perry's movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a show called Being Mary Jane. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes, I have.
She cast that.
Okay, and so was that the only famous person that was there?
There were other producers and directors there. But she was one of the main ones, the one that I attended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what has been your biggest challenge over the last 5 years?
I would say just rejection. You know, like for when you go for a job and you're just hoping this is the one, you think this is the one, and then you don't get it, that I would have to say is my biggest challenge.
And how do you overcome that?
Because of my faith, I'm a believer, and that keeps me going, my hope and trust in God.
Okay, so how does that work though? When you're hit time and time again, because you do get people who are non-believers and they might just ask once and they give up and they think, oh, there's no God, kind of thing. But how does God strengthen your faith when you feel let down so many times?
Well, I pray, I read the Bible every day, and I believe in the scriptures and trust God. He doesn't lie. What he says, is true, is faithful. So that's what gets me through, Yeah, that's what really helps me.
Okay. So, and when you pray, and what would you say? Would you say, oh God, I've been on 30 or 40 auditions, and why haven't I got the job? Why haven't I been selected? Or what are you praying for?
So I would never question God ask him why not, because he's got a plan and his plan is perfect. I was reading in an article, there was a lady in America. She went for she must have been turned down for 50 auditions.
Wow.
And didn't get any. She was a believer, and there was the next job she got, and they didn't want anybody who had been in any other film.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't want anybody who'd been in, and it was like God was just steering her steps for that role. And
I guess it's kind of building up your resilience. It's testing your patience.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's a lot of things when you get rejected and rejected and rejected. There's a lot of things that happen until you almost become immune to rejection. And at that point, when you're immune to rejection, you know that God is ready for you. And you know that, you don't have all of those hang-ups that you might have. You're not bitter. You're not angry. You're just kind of
Exactly.
carved into like a diamond,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yes.
Wow, just like a diamond.
Exactly. That's it.
And what is your greatest achievement?
Oh, my greatest achievement is I brought along with me. I won my very first award.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what did you get that for?
So it was in 2018.
Okay.
It was at a point in my life where I'd been through all these knockbacks, and I thought, oh, I don't know if this is really for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, God just came through and saying, yes, Marcia, you need to stick at this, you know. And I won the monologue slam.
Wow.
Yeah, so I entered a competition. It was a monologue slam in Luton,
Mm-hmm.
where loads of people, there was quite a few people entered, and they only selected a certain few.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we had to perform on stage. And there was like a panel of judges. One of the judges was Sally Abbott from the BBC.
Oh, wow.
And a few other actors, and producers. And yeah, they selected me as the winner. So I'm so proud of this. I'm sorry to have to say.
You should.
And it sits on my cabinet. And, you know, anytime when I feel like, you know, I see this, I'm like, yes, I'm keeping going. It just keeps me going.
Yeah, that's your motivation force. And I'd like, really, I'm sure our viewers would like to hear this monologue. How long is it? How long did it take?
It's too long.
How long
I
is
haven't
it?
got time to
Yes,
hear
you
this.
have. Come on. You can't come on my
Oh,
interview.
no.
So.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, tell us first what the character
Oh,
what
so
it is, the background.
it's from a play, one of Dennis Kelly's plays, and it's called Taking Care of Baby. And I play a lady who's she's telling her first night in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just stood there, and the doors just closed behind me. And I'm in this cell with this girl. She's lying on the top bunk, staring at the ceiling, and she's not saying a word. They were women in the cells on the other landing. And they were like hissing and shouting. You know, killer, murderer, you murdering bitch, we're gonna kill you. I just laid on my bunk. I was like this for 45 minutes. I was too scared to move. And then the girl above me suddenly spoke. She said, don't speak. Don't speak. I've got 6 months left in here. And if you make me hurt you, I'm really, really gonna hurt you. All right? That was my first night in prison.
Wow, that gripped me. Goodness gracious, I've got goosebumps.
Oh, please.
Wow, it's amazing how they reckon that's a sign of good art. I mean, good artistic ability when you actually move emotions. They say, like, whether it's painting, poetry, acting, if you can move the emotions of your audience, you know, you're there.
Oh.
So yes, I'm sure you're going to get more rewards. So how would you want to be remembered?
Strong, powerful, tough actress who touches people with her acting and not afraid to take on any character roles.
Okay. And what would your happily ever after look like? I have to credit that phrase to Deborah Knight. Honestly, it's so, you know, sometimes we talk about, oh, what's your perfect life look like? Like, say for me, I'd probably be married, and I'd probably have a big you know, like a big home, and I'd be able to do all my stuff, and my old man would be in another room somewhere else, and then we'd meet, you know, in the middle somewhere, because I wouldn't want somebody on top of me all the time. But for me, my happily ever after would be able to combine everything that I do, but with somebody. So what would your happily ever after be?
I think my happily ever after would be, you know, I'm successful in my career, in good health, you know, married, and with my kids, my daughter, all doing well.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of us, we all, happily ever after is really just, it's really about love, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, having those close around you and being healthy enough to enjoy it. So, yeah, but, you know, some people have different happily ever after. So, yeah, that's quite interesting. And thank you, Naz Knight, for that phrase. I will be using it. So how has lockdown impacted your lifestyle?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. You know, I'm not going to sit here. I know it's been, you know, awful for a lot of people. But, you know, when we had the first lockdown, the weather was nice. I was outside. You know, I can't really say, you know, I was at home able to do a lot of stuff and do things, you know, so I can't really say it's been, you know, that bad, you know.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that, you know, for some people, I think a lot of people have difficulty. Do you live on your own?
No, I live with my daughter.
Okay, so I know a lot of people, they have difficulty if they live on their own, and for them, just being in their own company, they found it difficult. While others, they've been in relationships, and the relationship has actually fallen apart because they've been forced to stay together. And a lot of people, because they were so used to the individual being out of the house, whether it was going to work or whatever, they reckon the amount of divorces and breakups during that period, and people getting depressed, they can't go to the pub and get with their mates. So yeah, it challenges people in different ways, I think.
I do know like a few people who lived on their own, you know, and during the lockdown, you know, I would, you know, go round, you know, not actually go in, but, you know, bring them stuff and, you know, ring people during the, you know, who I thought was, you know, lonely. So, yeah.
Okay, so what words do you have for anyone who is facing the COVID challenge or the vaccine challenge? We've got people who are kind of hesitant, anxious, they don't know what's going on. 1 minute we're okay, 1 minute we're okay with 2 jabs, and then we got 3 jabs and all of that kind of stuff. So but for people who are kind of anxious of what's going on, what would you say to them?
Well, I was one of those. I was anxious myself. I've only just had my second jab. I was anxious, but, you know, just keep going, just keep hoping, just keep believing, you know, just push through. You know,
And what made you decide to take the second jab?
Well, I was going to take double jabs, and the reason why I decided was with my acting work, they don't even want to see you if you're not double jabbed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the reason why.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think most people who've taken the jabs is because they feel as though they, you know, it's their livelihood. It's that or their livelihood.
Yeah.
So I don't think people would ordinarily, or they want to go on holiday. Or they want to spend
holiday.
Time,
I want to go on holiday.
Or they want to spend time with their grandchildren.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different reasons. But I bet you if it was voluntary, they wouldn't have anybody. No. So is there anything you would like to add that I've missed off?
Oh, yeah, I did. What I would like is just to encourage somebody out there. You know, I didn't write this. Faith doesn't always take you out of the problem. Faith takes you through the problem. Faith doesn't always take away the pain. Faith gives you the ability to handle the pain. Faith doesn't always take you out of the storm. Faith calms you in the midst of the storm. So for me,
that's lovely.
Faith, just have faith.
Yeah, and it's the hardest thing to have, you know. It is so hard.
You just have to take the step, take the
first step,
and then things
increases, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Marcia. It's been lovely interviewing you, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to come in.
Thank you very much. I'm so honoured that you selected me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And I hope, this is, Marcia is the last person I shall be interviewing for this year. My premiere is on the 23rd. Marcia's will be on the 22nd, actually tomorrow. Well, when you watch it, it will be tonight. So, yes, so this will be the last interview of this year. And then in the next year, I'll be interviewing some other people. So I hope you like this series. I mean, I know that I sometimes do things on immigration and all other different things, but I think it's good to get an insight into people and to take us away from that serious side of life into something more real, something more natural, and something that we're all a part of. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.